I really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media.
It only took 7 seconds for the world to stop talking and start gasping. A soft kiss, a swollen belly, and a look on Teyana's face that said everything without saying a single word. The moment Aaron leaned down and kissed her baby bump, the internet caught fire. It wasn't staged. It wasn't part of a shoot. It happened naturally, right in front of the cameras. A quiet, intimate moment between two people that sent shockwaves through the past. And somewhere across town, Iman Shumpert saw it too.
He didn't speak.
He didn't tweet. He didn't post. But that video reached him, loud and clear. And just hours later, he was spotted sitting alone in his car, head tilted down, wiping his face with his sleeve. Paparazzi captured the photo, and even though no one could say exactly what he was feeling, you didn't have to. It was all over his face. Heartbreak, regret, and something deeper.
Loss.
Because in that one moment, when Aaron's lips touched Teyana's belly, the chapter officially closed. There was no going back. But let's rewind. Because the story didn't start there. This didn't happen overnight. For months, maybe even years, things between Teyana and Iman had been quietly unraveling. It was the kind of breakup that doesn't happen with screaming or public fights. It happens in long silences, in lonely nights, in little cracks that grow bigger with time. Once upon a time, Teyana and Iman were everyone's favorite couple. They danced on red carpets, laughed in interviews, made music videos that felt like love letters. They were black love goals. Powerful, stylish, loyal. Or so it seemed. But behind the scenes, things were shifting. Iman's attention wandered. The emotional presence faded. Teyana, still holding it all together, found herself feeling more like a placeholder than a partner. She never told the world everything. She never sat in a chair and aired him out. That's never been her style. But fans started noticing the distance, the lack of posts, the way her smile became smaller in their photos. Then came the quiet announcement. They had split. No shade, no drama, just a soft goodbye. Teyana poured her focus into her daughter, her art, her growth. And while Iman was seen at parties, events, and sometimes surrounded by women who weren't her, she stayed grounded,
Healing.
evolving, and silently detaching. Enter Aaron Pierre. Quiet, mysterious, respectful. He didn't chase clout. He didn't post their dates. He simply existed beside her. Slowly,
Gently.
just enough for people to start asking questions. Is that her man? Are they together? She never confirmed, but her glow did. Months passed. Then the first rumors started. A fan tweeted that they saw Teyana at a fashion event with what looked like a baby bump. Another said she refused alcohol at a party. Pictures began surfacing of her in oversized hoodies, baggy jackets. She looked radiant,
Calm.
protected,
People guessed.
speculated. But nothing was confirmed until the video. It happened at a charity event. Not a Hollywood party. Not a photo op. Just a warm gathering, food trucks, kids running around, and live music. Teyana walked in wearing a soft silk dress that floated gently against her body. She wasn't hiding anything anymore. Her belly was there.
Proud.
Beautiful. Life growing inside her. Aaron stood beside her, as he had for months. He didn't talk much. He didn't pose. He simply placed his hand on her lower back as she greeted people. And then, in a moment that wasn't meant for cameras, he leaned down, kissed her bump, and whispered something that made her smile. The camera didn't catch his words, but it didn't have to. The body language said it all. That wasn't just a man kissing his girlfriend. That was a man honoring the woman who's carrying his child. And the world lost its mind. The video went viral in minutes. Blogs reposted it with headlines like, Teyana pregnant, Aaron makes it official, and is Iman okay? Because while the moment was sweet for some, it was a punch to the gut for others, especially those still holding on to the idea of Teyana and Iman reconciling.
And Iman? He saw it.
A fan captured a blurry photo of him sitting in his car outside a studio later that day. His head was down, hands over his face. one arm resting on the wheel, as if he was trying to breathe through something big. Paparazzi didn't get close, but they didn't need to. That image alone was enough to break the internet. He looked broken, not because he didn't move on. He's had flings, been seen with other women, but there's something different about watching someone else love the person you once took for granted and do it better. Sources close to Iman claimed he had no idea Teyana was expecting, that he didn't even know she and Aaron were that serious. One said he thought he had time. He always believed there was still a chance. Another added he didn't think she'd actually move on until she did. That night, Iman posted a pitch-black Instagram story. No image, just 4 words in white text. I lost everything I loved. He deleted it within the hour, but the damage was done. Fans screenshotted it, reposted it, reacted. Some showed sympathy. He's hurting. Let him feel. Others were harsher. You had years. You wasted them. But the overwhelming majority focused not on him, but on her. Teyana wasn't clapping back. She wasn't responding. She didn't even acknowledge the chaos. She simply posted a serene photo the next morning, standing in a sunlit kitchen, her hand resting gently on her bump. The caption? Chosen, safe, and loved. 3 words. That's all it took to shift the energy. She wasn't just glowing. She was secure. The next few days confirmed what most people suspected. Aaron was the father. He was seen shopping for baby clothes at a high-end boutique. A fan snapped a pic of him holding tiny shoes with the biggest smile on his face. No PR. No cameras. Just joy. Another video surfaced of him and Teyana walking together, hand in hand. At one point, she paused, rubbed her belly, and he kissed her temple. The internet didn't even try to pretend. It was a moment of pure, unfiltered love. And in sharp contrast, Iman began unraveling. The spiral wasn't loud, but it was loud enough to notice. He unfollowed both Teyana and Aaron, deleted every memory he once proudly shared, the anniversary posts, the birthday tributes, the sweet family moments that used to melt hearts. Captions were stripped, videos gone. As if by erasing the digital history, he could erase the part where he lost her. As if pretending the past didn't happen could soften the pain of not being part of the future. Then came the tweet. Just 8 words. Simple.
Raw.
Painful. Tell her I'm happy even if I'm not. And just like that, the internet exploded. It went viral instantly. Some called it heartbreak in its purest form. Others labeled it emotional manipulation, an attempt to pull sympathy, to play the victim now that the spotlight had shifted. But no matter how people interpreted it, one thing was painfully clear. Iman was no longer the cool, composed, unbothered ex. He was broken. And this time, the cracks were showing. And maybe that's what hurt the most. Not just that Teyana had moved on, but that she had done so peacefully, gracefully, in a way that didn't look like revenge, didn't look like noise, it looked like healing. Because Aaron didn't come in with flash. He wasn't trying to trend. He wasn't performing for the timeline. He just showed up and stayed.
Quietly. Gently.
Reassuringly. He wasn't there to compete. He wasn't there to fix her. He was there to honor the woman she became after surviving heartbreak. That kind of presence, that kind of consistency, that's not luck. That's love done right. Iman had years. Years to get it together. Years to hear her when she said she was tired. Years to love her out loud the way she deserved. But instead, he thought love was a bookmark. Something he could pause and return to whenever it suited him. What he didn't realize, the chapter had already closed. And Teyana? She wasn't waiting anymore. She had already cried the tears. Already given the grace. This time, she chose herself. And the kind of peace she found, that's what truly shook Iman. Not that she left, but that she never looked back. She had already cried her eyes out too many nights. Already forgiven things the public never even knew about. Already spent her energy trying to teach someone how to love her the way she needed, only to be left empty. So when Aaron entered the picture, not with fireworks, but with peace, she didn't flinch. She didn't question it. She leaned in. Because real love doesn't always arrive with noise. Sometimes it comes wrapped in consistency, in gentle touches, in being present without needing praise.
And now,
People are asking questions. The internet loves its drama. Did she owe Iman a conversation? Should she have told him first? Was it cold to let him find out through a post? But maybe they're asking the wrong questions. Because the real ones sound like this. How many conversations did she try to have before and got shut down? How many lonely nights did she pray for him to come home? How many breakdowns did she hide just to keep the peace? How many times did she beg for emotional presence and got silence in return? This wasn't about revenge. This wasn't about one-upping or throwing shade. This was healing, finally. And sometimes healing doesn't come with permission slips. It comes with decisions. Hard, quiet, final ones. Iman wasn't the villain in this story. He was just late. And in love, lateness can be a tragedy. Because when the person who begged for your attention finally gives it to someone else, it's not betrayal, it's closure. Now, Teyana's building a new chapter. One rooted in softness, in safety, in slowness. No more surviving. She's living now, fully, boldly. And Aaron? He's not trying to replace anyone. He's not trying to be louder or better. He's just there, loving her in ways that don't need captions. Kissing foreheads, holding hands in silence, protecting her energy, not draining it. And as for Iman, maybe this is the wake-up call he never saw coming. Maybe this is the lesson. That love isn't about possession or performance. It's about presence, about showing up when it matters, about not needing a second chance to get it right the first time. Because when you see the woman you once loved being loved better, it doesn't just hurt. It humbles you. And sometimes, that's the only closure you're ever going to get.